Just got to IAA, small building here, but there's a bunch of activity. There's like 5 or 6 trucks picking up cars right now, super busy. I can't wait to see what's back in the yard. I just got into the yard and there's a bunch of cars here. GTI right there, the Corvette I'm looking at back there, but all the nicest cars are right here by the garage. This right here is a 2008 911, beautiful silver color. And this one actually has no damage. This one's a clear title. So I took a closer look at the sticker and it says charitable adult rides and service. So it does look like it was donated or something. It does run and drive and start. On the inside, there's no damage at all. It's in very good condition. I would never guess that this thing has 85,000 miles. It looks like a 30,000 mile car. Very well taken care of. It does come with 2 sets of keys. I put that one in to see if we could get power, but unfortunately the battery is dead. I did try opening the hood and trunk, but unfortunately the battery is dead and I can't open either of those. Overall, this car is in extremely good shape. I don't see any fluids leaking, but there is a little red flag right here. Tow hook, so maybe it does have mechanical damage and it has to be towed, but not 100% sure. That's just an observation. Tires look a little bit bald, but who's gonna donate a car with new tires? Even if the motor's completely destroyed, I think this thing's worth it just because of the condition, if it does sell for a reasonable price. Down here, I'm gonna put how much wreck 2008 911 sell for, or just 997s in general. And I wanna hear from you guys, based on these comparable sales, how much would you pay for this one? Worst case scenario, if it has a blown up motor. And do you think it has a blown up motor? But typically, this is where the deals come in. A car like this, where you have no idea what the damage could be, comes up on auction, and a lot of these dealers and resellers don't have time to check it out in person, so they would just lowball bid it or not bid at all. And then someone like me who comes to check it out gets to see the true condition of the car and potentially get a very good deal if it does start. Behind the 911 is this beautiful orange 2013 McLaren MP4 12C. This one has hit up front, which doesn't look too bad, just some minor suspension damage, or maybe major suspension damage, but regardless, there's suspension damage, fender damage here, and then the hood is damaged. It looks like there's no frame damage at all. This frame rail looks pretty straight. Some stuff got broken off over here. Even the headlight harness survived, so this is definitely a good sign. Overall, I think this is a pretty minor accident, especially for a supercar that was probably going pretty fast. As far as the door and stuff and the A-pillar, it looks like there was no damage to the frame or tub, but it's obviously totaled, so there's some hidden damage underneath. And then, of course, the wheel has some crazy curb rash. That was probably from the accident. No visible damage. You would never even guess that this car is wrecked just by looking at the back. Even underneath, there's like no scratches, nothing. And over on this side, no damage either. Fortunately, the curb rash was only on the wheel that's involved in the accident. This wheel looks good, and this wheel looks good as well. And the tires are in surprisingly good condition. They look practically new. On the inside, very clean, no airbags deployed, nothing like that, no damage whatsoever. But this right here is the definition of, I guess, an affordable supercar. They sell super cheap. I did just find a few examples. This blue 2013 sold for 31,000 Canadian, which is around, I think, $45,000 USD. The damage doesn't look too bad. And then I also found a silver one with side damage that sold for $42,250. And this one actually started and drove. Pretty good sign. Minor damage. So I think it would be very realistic that this orange one's gonna sell for less than 50 grand. This one is still like a future sale, so I'm not gonna know what it sold for a long time. This section right here is more of like the industrial vehicles, these pickup truck type things, vans, trailers. And then right here, this is pretty cool, a flatbed. I was walking around for a little bit, I couldn't find the damage, and then I noticed right here, this is why it was totaled out. Just this. And I mean, wheel damage. Looking closer, it does look like the wheel is pushed back a little bit, but this is a super simple repair in my opinion, straightforward, and I think this would be a really good buy for somebody. No damage back here, so I guess it was just that minor front end hit that totaled it out. Typically the beds are all rusted out. This one's in very good shape. The interior has definitely seen better days, but it runs and drives, that's all that matters. I guess it's an international 4300 DT 466. So I'm gonna pull up some examples how much these flatbeds sell for at auction. Here are some more fun cars. This right here is a 1978 Fiat 128 Custom. I never heard of this car before. First time seeing one, and it looks horrible. The main reason I wanted to look at this car is because in the engine bay is the spare tire. I've never seen this before. The spare tire is in the engine bay. The engine is so small that they could fit a spare tire there as well. Pretty crazy stuff. Every possible thing in the engine bay is oxidized. This car overall is so rusted out. It looks like it's been sitting in the ocean for decades. Every single tire is flat. Crazy rust back here all the way through the body. More visible rust on the roof. The bumper looks new. It just needs a polish. These tail lights look new, but this trunk is in horrible condition. I can't imagine this would sell for more than $250 though. Inside though, I'm not gonna lie, I'm pretty comfortable. These are like soft seats, bunch of cushioning. It feels like I'm sitting on a couch. Apparently it has 51,000 miles on it, but honestly it feels like 510,000 miles.
Are you tired of getting burned by bad used car deals? It's time to put the odds in your favor with CheckCarVin.net VIN report service. With just a few clicks, you'll have all the information you need to make an informed decision. No more guessing games or taking chances on a lemon. And the best part? The VIN report is delivered instantly to your email, so you can have all the facts at your fingertips whenever you need them. Our VIN report will give you the full lowdown on the car's history, including any accidents or repairs. Don't risk getting stuck with a dud. Get a VIN report from CheckCarVin.net and drive off with confidence. Click now to get yours. Get your VIN report now.
This one right here is a 2019 Shelby GT350, not the 350R, but this one only has 4,000 miles on the clock. And initially I was like, okay, this has minor damage, something I'd be interested in picking up. But there's actually damage on both sides. Right here we have a scratched headlight, which would need a new lens or a new headlight in general. Bumper cover would need repairs, new fender. Completely curved up and dented wheel would need to be replaced. The door would need some work. And then back here, the rear quarter panel would probably need to be replaced. And then over on this side, at first I thought it was only damage on one side, and I was like, okay, this wouldn't be a bad car. But replacing or fixing both rear quarters is like extremely expensive, so I would not be interested in something like this. As you can see right here, bumper cover is scratched as well. Rear wheel is completely curved. Quarter panel here is dented, and even up front it's like wavy everywhere. And then in addition to the quarter panel, this front door would need a lot of work as well. This fender would need to be replaced for sure. It's completely mangled up. And then to finish it off, the fourth wheel is completely curved as well. This headlight as well, and then bumper cover on this side. So honestly, not too bad. It doesn't need any mechanical work. Essentially, this entire car would need to be repainted because fender, door, and rear quarter panel on both sides, plus front bumper, it would need to get blended onto the hood. And then, yeah, pretty much repainting the entire car, which is extremely expensive. No airbag deployment. This thing smells like a brand new car. 4,000 miles on it. Oh, the seats work. It does have power. I'm gonna check the fluids and then start it up. I would love to hear this car. Under the hood, it looks like it's in pretty good shape. The coolant overflow tank has some antifreeze in it. It doesn't look like any fluids were leaking out. I just looked underneath. The only thing is the brake fluid looks a little bit low. I guess a brake line could have been ruptured during the accident. No undercarriage damage. Wow, this thing sounds good. This thing sounds really good. I'm gonna let this thing warm up and then I wanna hear the exhaust. Okay, this thing's been warming up for a solid 5 minutes. I wanna hear what this thing sounds like. The GT350 has this active exhaust. That's off, that's active. Oh. I really want one now. I'm gonna put up on the screen how much other GT350s sell for, but here's a few examples of a 2018, 2017, and another 2019, how much it sold for. I wanna hear from you guys. How much would you pay for this car, and would you even buy it with the all over damage? Let me know down in the comments below. So this one right here is a 2008 Corvette Z06 with the LS7 with 505 horsepower. I was actually super excited when I saw this car. On top, it looks like maybe the engine burned or something, but it turns out this one was actually part of a garage fire. So there's no mechanical damage here or suspension damage, nothing like that. It's just heat damage from a garage melting onto it essentially. This is all looks like melted plastic from the garage. Essentially, this car wasn't even in an accident. The garage just burned down around it. And the worst case scenario, I would replace the headlight, replace that fender, replace the door, replace the windshield if it can't get cleaned up, and then even replace the rear quarter panel, and that's pretty much it. Some of the interior did melt, like the seat, but overall this is just super easy bolting and unbolting. It's not like there's suspension damage or airbags to deal with. But back here, the bumper cover is a little bit melted. The quarter panel is melted as well. Look at that paint coming right off. Over in the rear, there's essentially no damage, just this top portion burnt a little bit. Now this one only has 26,000 miles on it, and the value is in the motor, the LS7. So I know this wasn't a house fire because I actually spoke to a worker here, and there's clear signs that it was in a house fire. There's pieces of shingles here, garage tools. It looks like some siding melted over there, smashed glass, probably from the firefighters spraying it with water. Unfortunately, this hood is jammed on this side. It does kind of open here, but I could just go online for those engine pictures. Other Z06s of this generation sell for a pretty good price. I'm going to throw some examples up on the screen, and I think this one would sell far below that because a burned car would have a lot of hidden damage. In my opinion, this would be an easy fix. I want to hear from you guys, especially if you owned a Corvette before. I've never owned one, so I'm not really sure. Let me know down in the comments below. This one right here is a 2015 Audi S4. This was actually on my watch list forever now. I want to say 4 or 5 months now, and it's still a future sale. This is a 2015 with just 31,000 miles and very minor damage. This one's on my watch list because I think I could get it for $8 grand and spend like 2 to 3 on repairs and then have a super nice S4 with 30,000 miles. On the side there's no damage, but towards the rear this quarter panel has relatively minor damage. I think this could be saved and repainted, which would be amazing because that saves a lot of money over replacing it. In the back, it looks like it has a stock exhaust, which isn't a bad thing because usually if a car has an exhaust, it's driven a lot harder. So this one was probably just used as a commuter. And then over on this side, no damage, just curbed wheels again. And then here, missing chunk in the tire, completely destroyed wheel. It does look like there's some crazy suspension damage here. The wheels pushed all the way back, so the car actually might have drove over something, and there might be potential subframe damage because this definitely doesn't look normal to me. Coming back to this side, this wheel is turned a little bit. That one is straight, and that one seems a little bit further back than this one. But on the inside, airbags didn't deploy. It's always a good sign. Very good condition. Essentially the same thing as mine, except it doesn't have the carbon fiber trim, and this one's automatic, mine's manual. It looks like the battery's dead, so I can't get it running, but I will check under the hood. Under the hood, bone stock, super dirty, way dirtier than mine. It looks like the headlight is cracked up here. Oh yeah, it's completely popping out. Overall, I think this would be an easy fix. Other than that unknown suspension damage, it could be something crazy like the subframe. I can't really see because I don't have a lift here, and that's the gamble you would have to take. I think I could get it for a good price. If I can't get it for a good price, I'll just let somebody else have it. I'm gonna put some examples of other S4s on the screen so you guys have a good idea of how much they sell for. I do read all my comments, so if you want to say something, let me know down below. One comment mentioned that they want to see more motorcycles. I don't know a lot about motorcycles at all. I don't ride them, and I don't know how to ride one. Living in New England, this lot does have a few motorcycles, not a lot, but I mean, I guess like 10 to 15 motorcycles. A few basic cars here, nothing that caught my attention. A cheap Rabbit. These sell super cheap, like $500. Another Audi. This looks like an A4. Not really my type of car, nothing fun. Damage looks relatively minor. The B-pillar needs work. I could tell because the door's coming out over here. Hit pretty hard, but surprisingly the airbags didn't deploy. This is pretty nice. F250. It has some nice 33-inch tires. The damage is a little bit too much for me. but I know most people could easily get this sorted. Minor framework probably, no crazy suspension damage, and just the front end. It looks like everything in the back is good, side is good, interior is in perfect condition, all the windows are good, airbags didn't deploy, so it can't be that bad, I guess, since the airbag didn't deploy. I'm not getting a lot of comments about trucks. Do you guys want to see more trucks? Let me know down below. What do you guys think of damage like this, where it's just the wheel that's broken off, maybe subframe damage, but these are like pretty straightforward repairs in my opinion. Like, you don't really need to source that many parts. This would be a good flipper car, but it has like 250,000 miles. This is the exact opposite of that black GT350 V6 Mustang, and somehow they managed to crash this. What, going 50 miles per hour? Wow, this WRX is completely destroyed. Front end and this entire side. How fast do you think he was going to damage the car this badly? Okay, another WRX that's totaled from these kids probably street racing them. If you own one, how much do you pay for insurance? Okay, this is getting a little bit out of hand. Every other car here is a WRX that's totaled. This is the fourth WRX here. At least this one's an STI, but I can't even begin to imagine how much WRX owners pay for insurance. Literally every WRX is totaled. All right guys, this isn't even funny anymore. This is the fifth WRX. This looks like a STI, like type RA or that special edition one, but still the fifth WRX I'm seeing today totaled. Front end completely smashed in, rear end completely smashed in. Look at this. This might have not been his fault, so I'll give him a pass. Everything here is destroyed. From like 25 feet away, this A7 looked pretty good. Well, at least I think it's an A7. But upon further inspection, the paint is in really rough shape. It's like all different colors. The trim is peeling from the mirror. I bet this one has like 150,000 miles on it. But it is a good looking car, just in very poor shape. I've been walking around for a little while now, and there's nothing that's catching my attention. Just basic Jettas, Ford Fusion. That Escalade might be good. But like regular cars, Subaru Legacy, Altima, older Avalon that's completely destroyed. Not sure what this is. Looks like some Hyundai Accent maybe. Nissan Sentra. I don't know. You guys let me know what kind of regular cars you want to see too. I covered pretty much all the good cars here. This right here would be a pretty good flip car. I'm finishing mine up, so stay tuned for that flip series video. This is a Fiat 500 Abarth or Abarth, however you pronounce it. Honestly, one of my bucket list cars to own. At auction, these sell super cheap. Like for 4 grand, you could get a nice one. This one, unfortunately, is not nice. Way too destroyed, and it has 154,000 miles. I'm surprised it made it that far. Apparently, like one of the best sounding 4 cylinders from factory. These sound great, which is why I would want one, you know, just for a little bit. But I want to hear from you guys. Do you think this is a cool car? Let me know down below. Interior, nothing special. I mean, for the price, it's a lot of fun though. It's like a street legal go-kart. It's the most fun you could have for the money. This is the craziest accident I have ever seen in my entire life. The more I look at it, the crazier it gets. So right here, it doesn't look too bad. You know, wheels still here, doors are here. But coming here, the rear quarter panel is cleanly ripped off the rest of the car. It almost cloned itself. Look at this. The rear end is here, cleanly ripped off, like at the seams, almost as if somebody intentionally did this. This is insane. Airbags all deployed. Look, the floor just ripped off. I can't imagine how fast this driver was going. Look at that. Roof is mangled, divided itself. And then looking back here, there's like a nip. So this could have been drunk driver. Who knows? But this is scary to see. I have no words to describe this kind of damage. Do you guys remember the Z71 from last video with damage pretty much all over it? This thing is like the exact opposite. Essentially no damage except here under the door, a little bit dents, like these side steps were pushed in. And then the bed has some minor damage here and some damage over here. And this side here is in perfect condition. What do you guys think of this damage? Would you buy something like this? Honestly, it might even be passable without fixing the truck. The doors open perfectly fine. Airbags didn't deploy, so it's just pretty much cosmetic. I mean, you could still use these steps. So I don't know, would you even fix this if you bought the truck like that? Let me know down below. Finally, a V8 Camaro. This is a 2012 Camaro SS. Too much damage in my opinion right here. Front fender, door, hood, front bumper cover, and headlight. Probably suspension damage as well. And then over on this side, wheel and fender, and then rear quarter panel. And I guess the window got smashed. Nice car, but a lot of damage. It's gonna cost a lot in parts to get this thing fixed. This right here is a 2017 Tesla Model S, and it looks like it has pretty much no damage. This one has 24,000 miles on it, and from what I could see, a missing front bumper cover with no frame damage. Oh, but on this side, some radiator damage, suspension damage, missing fender. Overall, not too bad. And then back here, minor quarter panel damage, which isn't bad at all. Taillight missing, bumper cover missing. Overall, pretty good shape, to be honest. Yeah, that's pretty much it for the damage here. That's why I love Teslas, kind of. Like, they get totaled out for no reason. This shouldn't be totaled, in my opinion. A 2017, but then again, it's a 75D, so it's like the cheaper one. The sun's already setting. It's almost 5 o'clock. I have to get going. I didn't have time to cover every car, but then again, the videos are already so long. Let me know what you thought of this video. Leave a like if you enjoyed it, and stay tuned because my next video is probably gonna be a car flip video, since some of you have been asking for that. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Wow, this WRX is completely destroyed. Front end and this entire side. How fast do you think he was going to damage the car this badly? Okay, another WRX that's totaled from these kids probably street racing them. If you own one, how much do you pay for insurance? Okay, this is getting a little bit out of hand. Every other car here is a WRX that's totaled. This is the 4th WRX here. At least this one's an STI, but I can't even begin to imagine how much WRX owners pay for insurance. Literally every WRX is totaled. All right guys, this isn't even funny anymore. This is the 5th WRX. This looks like a STI, like type RA or that special edition one, but still the 5th WRX I'm seeing today totaled. Front end completely smashed in, rear end completely smashed in. Look at this. This might have not been his fault, so I'll give him a pass. Everything here is destroyed.